students, I am Dr. Anita Tripathi, lecturer in English, Bose, Cuttack. Today we will start with the communication model. So, we will draw first the model, then we will later go to the process of communication. The process starts with the sender, who is called the source. Then it moves on to the message, which is the idea in the sender's mind. Then encoding, attaching codes to the message, then the channel, which should be common to both the sender and the receiver. Then decoding, on the receiver side, then finally reaches the receiver. Then the cyclic process becomes complete with the feedback. Or response from the receiver's side. So again it reaches where from it has started, it reaches there to the sender. Then the process becomes complete. This is the communication model. And students, I must write here noise. Noise is always accompanied with the process of communication. So both in the sender side and the receiver side, noise is always there. Then let's come to the process of communication, where we will discuss all these components clearly. Every process requires some components or elements to function. So also the communication process requires the components as shown in the communication model. So the process of communication can be defined as a process in which the information is encoded and sent by the sender to the receiver, where the receiver decodes and it reaches the receiver via a medium or channel. So we will discuss the different components of the process of communication, how it proceeds from the sender and reaches the receiver through and again is returned back to the sender through the feedback. Okay. So the first component is the sender, who is the source. We call it source. Why? Because it is the source or the beginning of the communication process. The process starts from this sender. He or she may be called as the initiator because it begins with him or her. So how would we define the sender? Sender is a person or group in whose mind an idea originates and it then is delivered to the receiver. The sender decides what to transmit and in which form the message will be transferred to the receiver. But I must tell here that the sender should have a very clear-cut idea about the or attach meaning to the message. Clear-cut idea about the message. Otherwise, it would create confusion and misunderstanding in the receiver's side. And this is known as semantic noise. I told you that noise is always accompanied in the process of communication. So this confusion or misunderstanding, that is the semantic noise. So let's come to the second component or element, that is the message. So when the sender decides that this idea should be passed or information should be transferred, he gives a physical or concrete form to that idea, that is the message. So what is message? Message is the information that is transferred by the sender to the receiver in physical form, concrete form. So when the message is decided what to be transferred, what to be delivered, conveyed to the receiver, then the sender moves on to the third component, that is encoding. Code means attaching some meaningful symbols or signs to a certain thing. So encoding is the process of attaching meaning or converting the idea of the sender into meaningful words, symbols, gestures, etc. so that it can be easily conveyed to the receiver. So this code should be used by the sender keeping in view the receiver, because this would be equal or common to both the sender and receiver, otherwise it won't be received properly. So after the message is encoded, then the sender through the channel moves on to the receiver. So the fourth is the channel or the medium. So where we require some transportation or some vehicle to transport one object to the other place. So also here we require a channel, a suitable channel to transfer the message from the sender side to the receiver's side. So channel is the vehicle through which the message is transferred from the sender side to the receiver side. I told you in the communication model that the channels would be common to both the sender and receiver. Otherwise, suppose we don't have TV or computer or internet. If the sender sends some information, we won't receive that. So channels would be common to both the sender and receiver. We can divide channel into 4 categories. The first one is oral or spoken. Oral or spoken, in classroom situations we use the oral or spoken mode or channel Here also I am using the oral and spoken form. Then in conversations also we use the oral and spoken channel. Then the second one is electronic. Electronic means when it is transferred to any through any electronic device like TV, computers, emails, radio, television, loudspeakers, etc. Then it is through electronic means. Then the third one is through written or paper. Written or paper mode includes the letters, memos, notices, posters, newspapers, books, etc. And the last one is images. Images or visuals. So we often also use images or pictures to transfer any message to the or give any message to the receiver or any other person. So you must have seen when pictures are drawn about global warming. Now COVID is going on, coronavirus. We have also different types of pictures that convey some message to the viewers. So these are the 4 channels through which we can send our message. The sender uses these channels. Then the 5th one or 5th component is decoding. So decoding is done on the receiver's side. So receiver decodes the message sent by the sender. Decoding is interpretation or understanding of the message. The receiver receives the message, identifies what is being sent by the sender and absorbs that message, understands that message. So the understanding of the message totally depends on the receiver's understanding level or mental condition and intelligence. So the percentage of message received is not same as the message sent by the sender. So then comes the receiver. Who is the receiver? Receiver is the person who decodes the message, receives the message and decodes it, interprets it and give back the or completes the communication process by giving the feedback. Okay. And the last one is, which is the most important, that is feedback. Feedback, or we can say response. This is the most vital element on which depends the success of the communication process. So when the receiver receives the message, he understands it, interprets it and based on his or her understanding, he transfers back some response or feedback we can call the result or response of the receiver, which is returned back to the sender. So the sender will not know whether the message is successfully reaching the receiver or not unless he or she gets a feedback or response from the receiver's side. So this feedback makes the cyclic process of communication complete. So I must tell you that the process of communication won't be complete without defining the noise. I had also drawn in the communication model that noise is always accompanied with the process of communication. So what is noise? When there is a hindrance or disturbance while the message is being transferred or delivered from the sender to the receiver side, this is called noise. It is an unplanned interference in the communication environment, and unplanned interference in the communication environment that hinders the transmission of message. So noise can be of 4 types. First is psychological, what is psychological noise? You must have seen some people are very stubborn. They don't want to change. They have their set ideas in their minds. So they are not ready to accept anything new. So that is called psychological barrier or psychological hindrance. So they don't accept anything that is sent to them. So not ready to receive anything. That is psychological noise. Then environmental noise. Environmental noise is the noise or disturbance, that is the sounds that is created by our environment, like thunder, lightning, rainfall, any other disturbance caused by the environment. That can be the environmental noise. The third one is physical. So what is physical? Physical noise is gossiping, conversations, sound of fan, sound of vehicles, motorcycles, etc. that comes in the process of in between the process of communication. And the last one I had discussed earlier, that is semantic. Semantic noise related to the understanding of the message. That is semantic. When there is a confusion in the understanding of the message, that is called the semantic noise. So we'll conclude by writing down certain questions related to this section. Draw a suitable communication model. Second is define the process of communication. is write short notes on the following. Sender, channel, message, feedback, noise. So I think you must be clear about the model, communication model, the process of communication, and the related questions you can very well answer. That's all for today. Thank you.